This is Danny with QuadLugs, and today we'll have a short video on assembling and the introduction to our swivel mount. Comes packaged like this, and it's going to have again, ample screws. We normally give double of what you need, and here you go. For our tri-copter, we need to have, or we have rather, a cross T as I call it, and that's this piece right here. And it's used when we're assembling, and we'll go through some build tips. We'll have a video on some build tips on this, and I'll show you then. But this is where it's used here, and it ties in the back motor arm into the front set. So that's that piece. Of course, your screws to screw it into the arm. And here we have a smaller, and these measurements are on the website, but we have a smaller servo holder here and a little bit bigger one on this one. And we have the measurements. I've been on the site rather, and I've been using this Turnigy servos, metal gear. It's really, really good. Very, very strong, and I've had really good luck with it. But of course, you can use any one you want. And let's go here. This is the motor mount. Now, this motor mount here, and we'll have another little short video on using it as a motor mount for the V-tail, because if you do not use it with these parts here, it becomes a motor mount that you can adjust and use for your swivel, for your V-tail, and also you can use it for a regular motor mount. It's a little bit different than the one we're using now, in that we have some pre-drilled holes here, as we do on our original one. But you can also drill any assortment of holes you want and screw your motor straight to this piece. Again, like all the QuadLugs, it's super tough. It's made from glass reinforced nylon. Super, super, super tough. Anyway, let's get putting it together. We'll need a excuse me, we'll need an 1/8 inch bit. In the molding process, these holes do not come all the way through, but you'll see inside here the hole is almost punched through, and you'll see where it is. You just put your drill in the existing hole, and very little pressure, and it's through. You can actually do it with a screwdriver. It's just a film on there, really. Same thing with this piece here. You'll see there's a place to receptor for the nut in there, and again, you'll see the hole inside, and you just line your drill up with that hole, slide it in a little bit, and again, it's right there on the edge. And again, you can do this actually with a screwdriver, a small, pointed screwdriver. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out. Get a little bit of this off of there. And we're ready to put it together. Now, what we've done, there's also some indentions here on this plate, and this is your rod plate, as I call it, and there's some indentions, some guides there where you can drill your holes. Now, if you ever wanted to change it and move them somewhere down the way, you can. I found this works really, really good, but again, that's your option. So using a 1/16 inch bit, we'll go ahead and put it in that indention, put a little bit of pressure, and we'll drill that one out. And again, we'll do the same on the other one, and we'll drill that one out. And there we go. In this back here you get, like I said, double the screws. That's how we normally do it. And we get the connectors here and already have them installed. The connectors that you're going to be putting on your servo. Obviously the servo is not included, but these connectors are. And your rods. And we're pre-bending the ends for you. And of course they'll slide in like that, and it's going to go to your servo. So you'll get these connectors here, the stoppers. And you'll get 2 sets of screws to screw it on, and nuts and washers, and the 2 rods. So we'll get this started. Now, what we normally do, if you do not glue this, then you're going to have, you know, a degree of slop in there. So, you know, a touch of CA glue there, put this on top, and that's all you have to do. And that's done. Now, what I normally do is put the nut in here, and you can do it any way you want, but if you kind of bob it around a little bit, it'll line itself up and fall in the hole. There we go. I don't know if you can see that, but there, it's inside there. And what I normally do, once it's lined in there properly, I put a piece of wood in, and that holds the nut in, so now you don't have to worry about it. Then we'll go ahead and put this on like that, and we'll get our screw started. And this is a 3/4 inch 632. And let me make sure I put the washer on there. Almost forgot. There we go. Now, one thing about this is that you can adjust with these how tight you have the arm or the hit or the motor mount. You can adjust how tight you have that, how easy it moves, or how tight it moves. And believe it or not, I found it to where you know, I've wanted it to where it would be a little bit tighter sometimes than not, just kind of depending on what kind of flying I'm doing. But we'll go ahead and put it on there, and what I normally do is go ahead and screw it down really tight at first, and then I'll back it off. And you can see that's pretty tight there, or it won't move. Then I'll back it off a little, and as I'm backing it off, I'll check the play in it. Well, it's a little bit hard. Ease it up a little bit more, it's a little bit better. We'll do a little bit more. And that's pretty much how I want it right there. There you go. And you choose whichever size servo holder you want. And again, I normally super glue it. You'll find that one side here is kind of slips on, you know, really easy. The other side is kind of got a little bit of a grab to it, a little bit of a snap to it. That's the side I put it on. Of course, you can move this any way you want. And a little touch of super glue in here. Not a little touch, but I put super glue on this side here and up on this side, and put the flat piece toward the motor mount. And you can dry fit it first and have your servo in and see exactly where you want your the holder, the servo holder to be, so that the, you know, the rods are nice and straight this way. But what I've done is I've done a few of these now, and I know where to put this particular one. But this allows you to, if you have a, you know, a servo with a different length here, you can actually move this mount, you know, to get any kind of adjustment you want. So if you'll see that on this particular one, it mounts about right there. And it's a pretty nice straight up and down. And that's how it's gonna wind up looking. And what we do to build on this, I'll show you that in a little bit more detail. But that's all you have to do. And like I said, put some super glue or epoxy and, you know, put it on there like this, let it dry for a good while, go ahead and put it together and you're ready to go. And then what I normally do is that, you know, I drill a 1/8 inch hole through here, and put one of the 5/8 screws through, and that holds this thing super good. So that pretty much does it on the swivel mount. As you can see, very easy to do. Again, you need to glue this rod plate on. If not, you'll have this slop in there like this. You know, and it's made that way so it'll slide on easily. But anyway, super glue this or epoxy this piece on, and I really suggest super glue, it works fine. The plate on to your motor mount before you mount it on is great. Go ahead and put it on and then do a dry fit here and see the distance that you want this piece, the servo holder, what distance you want it from, and then go ahead and super glue it or epoxy it on, and you know, you'll see where it's level. You rock it back and forth and you get on a flat spot, and go ahead and put it on, and then your servo, just drill you a 1/16 inch hole on, excuse me. You can drill a 1/16 inch hole here and put your servo screws in to mount it, and you're good to go. Works very well and super sturdy. This piece here, I haven't had one break at all yet, and with the servo in there, and if it's glued properly, if you ever come down on it, which, you know, your back foot on the way QuadLugs is set up, pretty much keeps it off of here unless you hit it here. But if you're using any other application, this can actually act as a foot, actually. It's that tough. So anyway, there you go. We'll have another short video on the using this for a V-tail and a regular motor mount. And this is Danny with QuadLugs, and please subscribe and we'll see you soon. Thank you.